Hey Camp followers, really excited to be here because we got some really good stuff for you in this episode. This is an episode about ways to identify the potential of arthritis in your dog. So we're looking at behavioural changes. That's just one of the CAM factor. If you've watched other episodes, you'll realise that looking at behavioural change, postural change, physical changes and capability changes. So let's start at the top. We're going to start behavioural changes. I'm here with Danni, dear friend of mine. She is a veterinary nurse, she is a hydrotherapist, and she's training to be a physiotherapist. And she has recently just won Blue Cross Vet Nurse of the Year. So we're going to be chatting to you about 5 behavioural changes that you may see that can indicate that your dog is suffering from chronic pain. Over to you.
So one of the primary things that I think we experience in or clients come to us with are changes in their dog's willingness to undertake certain activities, but more so their interaction with the other dogs in the household and maybe the owners themselves. So dogs start to withdraw and become less inclined to want to interact in terms of ball play, in terms of with toys, but not just that, it's fuss. You might find that there's a decrease in the amount of fuss and attention that they want, and that's very difficult for an owner.
But it makes perfect sense. If something is painful or going to be potentially painful, such as the rub, the greeting, the hello, and the dog goes, oh, that really hurts, they're going to avoid it. So avoidance of like social interaction. Okay, number 2 for me is something very close to my heart. Noise phobias. We now know that there is a very close link with noise phobia and pain. And my dog, the lovely Holly, had a noise phobia that started very early in her life. And now that I look back, that was the signs. She was already showing signs of lumbosacral disease very early in her life. So if your dog is starting to be averse to noises and it seems to be escalating, and it started off with fireworks and now it's car doors slamming and it's bottles clashing, then please talk to your vet about it. Number 3,
I would say that you can unfortunately tend to see changes in dogs' personalities. So a very stoic dog which has spent all of his life growing up with your children suddenly starts to become Mr. Grumpy. And that's really, again, very difficult for everybody in the household because they start to become, you can't anticipate their behavioural responses. And it's a consequence of the fact that interaction may be eliciting pain. So you've got this social withdrawal, but we still want to interact with our dogs. It's one of the key reasons that we keep them as pets. So we try and elicit these normal reactions from them, but actually they don't want us to interfere. So there can be this sort of Jekyll and Hyde personality where I'm feeling particularly painful today, please leave me alone. But we expect them to do all of their normal activities and try and encourage them to, and that unfortunately...
I think we should add to that. So it's very difficult for owners to see these changes because you're with your dog every day. And often they're very subtle changes. So your dog might become a little bit more inhibited in a normal greeting in that they allow you to do what you're going to do, but they want you to get it over and done with quickly. So when you go to greet them and you do your rough and you do your, it's good to see you, they're like, just hurry up. And they kind of rigid, don't want to be involved, and it'll be over and done with quickly. Or they might turn around and appease you and start licking you and going, ha ha ha, yeah, you're funny, let's get out of here. Or they might actually be a bit aversive and they might just be drifting away from the situation. Or they might turn around and say no thanks. So there's a lot of behavioural responses from that. Number 4 for me, I think, is the one that we hear about all the time. Dogs whose behaviour changes towards other dogs. So we hear about this with dogs that used to be fine on the lead. They used to love playing with other dogs, and now they seem to either preempt a confrontation, so they're or they're kind of withdrawn from the situation. So behavioural changes with other dogs is number 4. Number 5. Go for it.
Number 5, I would say changes in willingness to undertake normal activities. So activities such as ascending or descending the stairs, wanting to jump on and off the sofa. We've all seen these little dogs who like to sit on the back of the sofa, now around your neck. Then all of a sudden they're just spending more time in their bed. Because they're not wanting to undertake these normal behavioural patterns for them. They don't want to sit and watch Coronation Street with you.
We hear this all the time. I have so many friends that say, oh, he's just growing up. He likes his end of the sofa now. And I'm like, no, no, that's not the case.
Yeah.
You know, he's trying to keep distance because you're shuffling and moving and putting your hand in the crisp packet or reaching for the TV control moves him in a way that he goes, oh, that I didn't see that coming and that hurt a little bit. So I think the take home from today, so we're talking about behaviour, how behaviour can potentially show you signs of pain, and pain could be potentially arthritis, which is something that's very close to our heart. We want to raise awareness and we want to help you identify the signs early. The key word that we've kept saying is change.
Yeah.
So if you've got a dog that has been consistently behaving in a certain way and that behaviour changes, then there's got to be a reason underlying it. So please do talk to your vet about it. Now, something to help you when talking to your vet is to use the CAM factor. Behavioural change, posture change, physical changes, mobility and gait changes. If you go to your vet and say, I've seen behaviour change, he's walking differently, you know, he doesn't jump in the car like he used to. All of these are saying to me there's something underlying it. It's going to be a lot easier for your vet to do something with that information. If you turn up and just go, oh, he's changed.
It's just not himself.
Very difficult.
Yeah.
Very difficult. Anyway, we're going to see you next time. We're going to be talking about postural changes that might be an indicator of pain. So see you then. Bye. Bye.